All right, welcome back to Cooking with Undidi. Today I'm cooking for you Monday's red beans and rice, Camelia beans out of New Orleans. Those are my favorite brand of beans. They even have their recipe on the back. I generally use my own, which I'm going to show you how today. First thing you want to do, you want to pour them out in a colander, sort through them, remove any rocks, which you don't see very many. Any discolored are very bruised beans. Pull those out, wash them. I put mine in a large pot of water. I don't do the overnight soak. I do a quick soak. I add a tablespoon of baking soda, and that helps remove the chemical that causes me to have gas. And I let them boil for about 25 minutes, and then I pour them out in the colander again and rinse them. Today I'm not doing the stovetop method because I need to finish my holiday shopping, so I'm going to do the Crockpot method. So once I've rinsed my beans, I'm going to add them to the Crockpot as you see here, and I'm adding roughly about 4 cups of water. All right. Next, I will add, in this case, 3 small bay leaves because they're so small. If you have larger bay leaves, you can add 1 or 2, but these are so small, I'm adding 3. I'm going to add part of my seasoning now, and then I'll add to it as the process goes on. So I added my favorite Tony Satria seasoning, some onion powder, some garlic powder, and as you can see, I'm not using a measuring spoon. I'm adding some oregano leaves, dried oregano leaves, and I will write a generic recipe for you, and you can tweak it to make it your own. All right, give it a little mix. I'm going to set my Crockpot, my well-loved Crockpot, on 5 hours and 30 minutes high, and that's going to give me time to go to the grocery store. I bought the mixed vegetables you see there. I love that. If they sell it at H-E-B here in Texas. It has the Trinity and a few little other herbs to it. Using Zumo andouille sausage. You can use regular smoked sausage, but something about andouille sausage and red beans does the trick for me. So I'm going to add just under 2 cups of chicken broth, some Worcestershire salt, some poultry seasoning, some thyme. Give it a little stir. And as you can see, it's been about 3 hours. I ran to the store. I got the sausages that you see. I've diced them up. Well, not diced them, but sliced them, and I put some butter in a skillet. I'm going to cook them a little bit. Remove them. And those 4 right there, I like to cut large pieces so that I can have it for my picture for you. Now the remaining sausages, I'm going to cook them until they're nice and brown on each side. And I would say that took maybe 3 to 4 minutes at the most. My burner is on medium-high heat. All right, I'm going to remove my sausages. Now, some people cook their sausages and the diced vegetables together, and I'll be honest, most times I do. Today, I just don't feel like it. I'm doing it differently. I'm going to saute my mixed vegetables. I call it Trinity, but it has a little more in it than the Trinity. The Trinity is just basically bell peppers, green onions, and some yellow onions. This has garlic and some parsley to it. So it's a little more than that, and I love it. The only thing, if you buy it, it leaves a funky smell in your house. All right, now I'm going to add my lightly sauteed vegetables to the crock pot of beans. I'm adding the sausages that I have drained on a paper towel. Give it a stir. And this is optional. I'm adding just a little bit of cayenne pepper and a little bit of white pepper to give it a little kick. If I were cooking just for myself, I probably would have added about a half a teaspoon of each, but my bae and my son who might come over, they don't like it too hot. All right, while my beans are still cooking, so that I don't waste anything, I'm sorting the leftover vegetable mix into some freezer bags, putting the date on them, and I'm going to stick them in the deep freezer so that the next time I cook, they're already sorted out. All right, I'm going to go on and show you how I cook rice. I don't think I've ever shown you all how I cook rice, and can't assume that everyone knows how. I'll be honest, I didn't know how for many years until a cousin of mine's wife showed me. I love to use the Zatarain parboil rice. I measured it out. I have 2 cups of rice, and I use the 2-to-1 method. And what I like to do to help remove a little bit of the starch, I soak my rice for a good 5 minutes. I wash it several times, a good 3 or 4 times until that water is almost clear. While my rice is soaking, I'm going to add 4 cups of water to my large pot because I had 2 cups of rice. I'm adding 4 cups of water and just a pinch of salt. All right, I've added the rice to the pot, just a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to set my timer for about 20 minutes, and this rice will be done. All right, finishing up the beans, I'm adding, because I forgot to add my favorite Adams brand all-purpose seasoning. You can add your favorite brand. A little more seasoning because I did give it a little taste and it needed a little more seasoning for me. I added a tablespoon of butter, and as you can see, they're just about done. I'm smashing some of them. That helps make them creamy. And I'll be honest, had I boiled these in a pot on the stove for about an hour and a half, they really would have been nice, thick and creamy. But in this crock pot, I noticed the crock pot does not get as thick and creamy as a traditional pot cooked on the stove does. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some of this liquid after I add some seasoning, add a little bit of cornstarch to it, mix it up real good and add it to help thicken it up. Give it a dash of Louisiana hot sauce. And these beans are ready. They smell good. This is how I cook my red beans and rice. Slightly different from how I cook my pinto beans and ground beef. All right, I'm going to share with you what my rice looks like. It's done. It's fluffy. It's not sticky. So perfect rice. And this is how we eat red beans and rice in Texas. You put your beans in, a little rice on top, some cornbread. I made buttermilk cornbread. Those large slices of sausage I put on top. All right, now I'm going to taste it for you. All right, friends, red beans with sausage is done. So let's taste it. It smells divine. You know, in New Orleans, eating red beans and rice is their tradition on Mondays. And it's Monday today. And I had to go shopping. So the crock pot came right in hand. Ready? Let's see. It's good, y'all. I don't know how they say it in New Orleans. My sisters and brothers next door to Texas. But whatever they say that means good, that's this. It's delicious. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. What did you think of this recipe, okay? Peace.